Welcome back. In this lesson we're going to talk about the part of the process of getting your product right. When I talk about the product, we talk about not just your photography, your brand. It's your brand, your photography, products that you supply as part of that photography. It's all about getting your little package, who you are, what you sell, getting it all right. What is a brand? Well, the dictionary defines a brand as a particular identity or image regarded as an asset. So it defines your business, it identifies your business, and it suggests things to your client. And it is an asset, it's an important part of your business. It should be identifiable, should be repeatable, it should render well on different media and on different colour backgrounds. So think about the colours that you use. Brand isn't just your logo, remember. It's everything wraps around your logo. It should be consistently. Whenever you're using your branding, it's got to be very consistent, used the same way over and over again. So where do you start with branding? Well, no doubt, obviously, you're in business for yourself. You'll already have a brand, right? To attract higher end wedding clients, you need to create a luxury brand for your business, right? Try and create it and elevate it as a luxury brand. Who are the top brands in the world? Right, let's think about what luxury brands are here. Now, currently, according to market research, and that's not just searching on Google, but that's proper market research. The top 10 brands in the world involve companies like Gucci, Chanel, Hermes, Dior, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Tiffany, Prada, Versace, Armani. Right, extremely high-end luxury brands. We need to start thinking like them. Study some of these brands and try to pick out what works for them. More often than not, it's simplicity in their branding. It's very, very simple as that. Excuse me. So, Chanel, easily identifiable logo, very simple. A C and a reverse C, black on white, recognisable all over the world. The Rolex crown. Right, Rolex watch, the Rolex crown, everybody recognises the Rolex brand. Gucci, the green and red colour, which we normally associate with Christmas, green and red, but you see it and instantly you'll think of Gucci. Simple things in brands, so it's not just the style of the logo, it can be the colours, right? So getting your branding starts right at the very beginning, naming your business. Now, if you've not got a name for your business yet, just very, very early in your photography career, brainstorm this with friends and family. What does your name tell clients? Now, where does it position you in the market? Now, my brand was just Alan Hutchison Photography. And you think, well, how simple a brand can you get? Yes, it was a very simple brand because I wanted it to be simple. Photography, from my point of view, I wanted my photography to be treated like art, so I wanted to put my name on that art, and that's why we decided to stick with Alan Hutch Photography. We could have changed it at some point along the line. I did consider it, but we decided to stick with it and get our name associated with the photography. People say, "Oh, this was an Alan Hutchison wedding," so that's why we stuck like that. You may want to take a different approach. You may have, I know, some of you may have studios with 2 or 3 photographers working together, so it wouldn't do for a name there. So you may have, another name we did toy with was the Weddings with Wow, which became our kind of sub-brand, if you like, because that was describing the type of weddings. But your company name is very important. So really think long and hard about it. Where's it going to position you in the market? I've seen people branding their business with a name, a location. Do you really want to do that? Glasgow wedding photographer, Edinburgh photographers might work, but if you move out of that area, circumstances can change in your life. It can be difficult to rebrand. What message does your brand portray? Do you say things in your brand name that you actually might put something across about your business? Using your name, it can build trust. That's one thing. Logo design. try and be classy as possible with your logo. I've seen so many photographer logos that are based around a camera, and some of them look absolutely diabolical, to be honest. Again, look back at these luxury brands, look at their logos. Think like a luxury brand. Look at colouring, the typeface of your fonts, etc. Be as classy as you can be. Hire a professional if you can. There are grants available. It's particularly, I know in the UK, you go to your local small business advisory scheme. They will be able to find you some grants for marketing to get help to pay for a professional to get a properly designed brand done. You'll need a proper domain name to go with that brand, remember, for your website. So we need to make sure it's going to be available. You've got to check that nobody else is using that brand name. You're not going to suddenly clash with another business somewhere in the country. Your email address has to use that same domain, right? Don't be the photographer that says, yep, John Smith Photography and my email address is johnsmith123@gmail.com. Just looks stupid. Part of your branding is even little things like having a landline number. It just instills confidence and stability in your business. You're not just a mobile phone number. You've got a landline. You have a fixed landline. Show your business address on your website. What have you got to hide? Why are you hiding away your address? Again, photographers tell me this. I don't want people to know I'm a photographer in case they break into my house and steal all my cameras. Honestly, just register and incorporate your business properly. If you're in the UK, make it a limited company. It protects you, actually. It does protect you. If you ever got any serious problems with a client, if you're a limited company, it limits your liability. That's very important. Again, people trust limited companies. If they see that you're an actual limited company, they know, again, you're set up properly, and it gets the trust out there. And similarly, you need to protect your brand. So when you're buying domains, also buy things that are similar. Our domain name is alanhutchison.co.uk. I also registered alanhutchison.com, alanhutchisonphotography.co.uk.com, etc. So anything that was similar, even misspellings, I registered Alan Hutchinson on all the variations of that to protect my brand. Again, when it comes to naming, think of what your name says to people. And I'm going to give you a few examples. ABC Wedding Photographers, right? What does that say? Somebody that's not even given a second thought about what they call their name. They just named something that's going to be top of directories, start with the letter A. Delectations Photography. You know, stupid names like that I see often again as well, and you think, where did they get these things, and who's going to ever remember that, or even know how to spell it? Getting branding can start, simple things like your domain name. If your domain name is something like johndoephotos.wix.com, again, people know you've not purchased a proper domain name, you're cheap, and you're not going to be around in a few months' time, so you get setting the wrong impression. Cheesygrin.com, yeah, you might love that as a business name, but it just sounds cheap and cheesy, and that's exactly how it'll come across. I said this before, your email address, johndoe212@gmail.com will not cut it. You just look like an amateur, right? Using words around your branding is important. You've got to be careful what words you use around your brand. Something like, if you put in your website, we'll match any price. Yeah, you'll match any price because you're cheap, right? You don't want to come across as a cheap photographer. Wedding photographer and video, great Gumtree offer. I've actually seen this in people's Facebook advertising and stuff. If you want to be the type of photographer that advertises on Gumtree, yeah, go ahead. You will forever be a cheap photographer. Yeah, you will not get your business elevated to the right levels you need to be. Here's an example of how to get it completely wrong. This is an image of a shop window display of a local bridal supplier in my nearby town in Stirling, Bridge of Allan. This place was Glen Allen Fashions. They've been there for years. They're always associated with being cheap. You know, you just look at that window, shop window. What does it say? First of all, the first sign you see, shop to let, right? If you're a bride looking to buy a wedding dress in that shop, what are you going to say? Oh my God, I might buy a dress, and the time they get it in for me and do the alterations, they could have sold the shop and be out of business. I might never get my wedding dress. Big sale thing right in the middle, just absolutely horrific shop window display. It just says cheap, likely to go out of business. I'm keeping well away from a business like this, right? Now, since then, they have sold their business. They did sell their business, and it's now a coffee shop. Anyway, that's how you get it wrong. Branding's got to be consistent as well. This was here's an example of how a graphic designer would provide a logo for you. They give you a style guide. So this was for a fictitious brand I was going to create called Poolside CEO. Right? We looked at a brand. We wanted the colours to. You'll see the colours here: blue and orange of the sun beside the pool. The font was a particular font. You see the little stylized O in there. Very kind of defined logo. Great branding, I thought, by the designer that did this. They provide a style guide showing how much clear space should be around the logo. They also show the examples of how the logo could be used on a dark background, on a light background. Just switching certain colours, so your logo has to work that way as well. And also provided us with a actual proper colour definitions, 3 primary colours, 3 tertiary colours that we could use on websites and stuff. And that's the kind of level of consistency you've got to be, right down to colour codes, exact colour codes, exact typefaces that you're going to use. This was our brand, Alan Hutchinson Photography. Again, simple, 3 colour brand, black, red and white, right? And that's the same logo on a white background. You see it was quite consistent. Typeface is TW Sens MT. I even got it down to a particular font we used in that branding. And it was used everywhere in our business. There was example business cards that we had at the time on the website and in our advertising. So the branding was right across the board in terms of the colouring. So what have we learned in this lesson about branding? What is a brand? Your brand needs to define your business. Your brand needs to attract your target customer. Your brand needs to be available. Check your local company and don't get into any trademark issues. That could cost you dearly down the line. Rebranding can be quite difficult. Not impossible. It's never impossible to rebrand, and certainly if you're early in your photography business at the moment and these first 2-3 lessons make you rethink what your name of your business, it's not too late to change it, okay? Make sure your domain is available, obviously. Hire the best designer you can afford. If you can, don't overlook this. We are photographers. Sorry, I just bumped my microphone, sorry. We are photographers. We do tend to think that we are also designers. We're not graphic designers, we're photographers. So sometimes get the experts to do it. Protect your brand and assets. Register any similar domains. Look into trademarking, that kind of thing. Trademark is expensive, but sometimes it can be worthwhile doing. So that's branding. I hope you enjoyed that quick lesson, and we'll see you in the next one.